from the OECD, the main economic body in the world. And the statistics said in 2009, in the middle of the recession, that Ireland was the second wealthiest country per head in the world. Now, isn't that hard to believe, given all this awful budget and the awful misery that's been created? But it's true. In fact, it's a little better than true, because the country above us is Luxembourg. That's only above us because half the people who work there don't live in it at all. So in fact, Ireland per head of population is the richest country in the world per head of population, right? And now you all heard the country is broke, right? Now, there's another statistic as well came out. It's in the ICTU submission on the budget, and it says that Ireland has one of the worst distribution of wealth in the world, right? So what's the point about the two statistics? A very small percentage of people at the top have it all, and the state of the majority of the population is very, very bad and getting worse due to these awful budgets. Now, another fact that came out, there's 3,000 people in Ireland, right? And they have an income annually, every year, of €3 billion. And guess what happened to them in the budget? They got another 72 million into their pockets, because the way this universal social charge works. The whole thing about Ireland is that ordinary people, whether it's through VAT, PAYE, or whatever, water charges and so on, are paying it all, and the other crowd, 10% of the population, are getting all the money. Now that's the way it was during the boom, and that's the way it is again during the recession. How much assets have this top 3,000 people? They have 250 billion in assets, and they didn't take one penny off them in the budget, not a sausage. And you know, they said they let the old age pension alone. The other pensions were all cut, and even occupational pensions were cut, whether they were from the private sector occupational pension, and there were direct cuts in the public sector pensions. Now, I run an organisation, an informal organisation, trying to force unions to look after and stand up for public servants. Now, you probably heard in the papers that all these public servants have 250 grand salaries and huge pensions and so on. But of course, the facts are that the majority of public servants have less than the average industrial wage. And in the budget, the pensions of very low paid public servants on 15,000 a year, that's €300 a week, their pensions was directly cut, and even people with occupational pensions in the private sector were cut. The other thing that happened was, one of the heads of Allied Irish Bank, he's on a pension of 529,000 a year, right? This is one of the banks that wrecked the country. 529,000 a year. And he got in the budget an extra 16 grand into his pocket because of the way this disgraceful universal social charge is operating. So some people are trying to drive a wedge between people working in the private sector and people working in the public sector. You all know who the public sector workers are. The people who work for the corporation, the county council, the nurses, the teachers, the guards, the ward staff, right? As I say, the vast majority of public servants have less than the average industrial, most of them anyway, a big percentage of them have less than the average industrial wage. And what we need is an alliance to fight together to take out this government and to defend ourselves and make the unions that we're paying dues to defend us, because they're not doing it. I won't go on any further. It's a great privilege to speak here in my hometown, and I hope I'll be down to give Seamus a hand. I'll be able to hear in the election.